Hello, hello. This is week 91 in Intuitive Momentum Fitness. And today we're talking about inspiration, motivation. What is your deepest source of inspiration in improving your health, in being alive? So what I asked yesterday was, what motivates you to be healthy, vital, alive? What is beautiful about being alive? What do you want health for? I think there's like so much confusion, so much gets mixed in to the conversation that it's sometimes confusing to know why I would be committed to being healthy, to being fit, and there's personal associations, there's general cultural associations. So I know that one that I experienced, a negative one, was like you're only exercising if you're vain. You're only exercising if you want attention. You're only exercising if you're focused on surface things rather than deep internal things. And first, anything that's absolute like that is probably not going to be true, but all the time. But then it has to be personal for you. So what is your reason? And maybe it is to look a little better. That's totally okay too. But what really is the deep driving inspiration for a lifestyle of optimization, of vitality, of health? What makes you want to be alive? What is inspiring about being alive? What do you want to do more of? And so I'll read what I wrote yesterday. I have loved watching the beauty of movement since I was a kid, whether ice skating, soccer, tennis, dancing, or martial arts. It all inspired me, like visual poetry. But because I experienced hypervigilance and physical exhaustion, I didn't get to experience glimpses of that myself until my late 20s. My experience of weakness also made me obsessed with getting strong. And caring for my grandfather when he had cancer of the larynx made me determined to do everything in my power to invest in my health consistently so I would be super energetic, vital, and a strong old man one day. So those are my inspirations. So first it was like there's movement is so beautiful, like coordinated, athletic, balanced movement. So watching, whether they're football players, soccer players, basketball players, tennis players, and I watch a lot of pickleball now. People that can move well, it's just really inspiring, really motivating. Dancers, so I've taken ballet over the years and I've watched ballet. That's like really incredible. Dance choreography, even like choreographed fight scenes in movies, martial arts, like that's really inspiring, really incredible. Something that motivates me. So I always wanted to be able to move, but I had this extreme fatigue and I had this weakness, and that was really frustrating. So spending enough years focusing on that, trying to get stronger, trying to get healthier, and failing until almost my mid-20s, I didn't see any progress, and then didn't see significant progress until my mid-late 20s. And then there was still milestones that I've reached into my 30s and all of that. So, and then this summer actually leaned out because of what I was eating, kind of effortlessly, and so reached a milestone there that I hadn't reached before. So that was 41, almost 41 and a half. So I'm continuing to reach milestones, and I'm still motivated to reach those milestones because I feel like I have not maximized my potential, and there's kind of a game in that, and something that I really strongly desire. And also, it's why I keep working on pickleball. I keep going to tournaments, even though like I have complex PTSD and certain aspects of the game of pickleball and the players that I play with and against, and definitely certain aspects of tournaments really trigger my complex PTSD. And so if I was committed to living just a life of peace, I would avoid that. But I am committed to getting stronger and better and faster and quicker, and improving my movement. And there's kind of a beauty of movement, efficiency, and flow on the pickleball court that I want to achieve more of, and so that keeps me coming back, even though there's overwhelm sometimes. And then my experience with my grandfather and taking care of him when he had cancer of the larynx, and just thinking every day for those 2 months that I lived with him and worked, taking care of him, feeding him through a stomach tube, and putting essential oils and ointments on his radiation burn scars. That if there was anything that I could begin doing now, if there's any way that I can improve my health so that wasn't the way I was spending time with my grandkids or with young people when I'm an old person, then I wanted to start doing that. So that motivation, that inspiration of being an extremely energetic and strong old man is something that I think of every day with my workouts. So motivation is so important, not as much for the goal of reaching goals. A lot of times we talk about motivation so that you can stick with your plan, you can still stick with moving towards your goal and all that, and that's good. But what I want to emphasize is that, why are you alive? What is it about being alive that makes you feel alive? And for some people that's like, maybe art or writing or reading or something completely unrelated to fitness. And at the same time, your body's health and well-being is going to enable you to participate more in those things that make you feel alive. The whole point of fitness is to be able to have the ability to participate in life the way you most wish to. So the point of fitness is not to be most fit. The point of fitness is to be able to participate in life the way you wish to participate in the things that make you feel alive, the things that bring you the most joy, that bring you the most passion. What are the things that you love about life? Being fit will enable you to do that more and better and longer. That's the thing that I want us to connect with. What is that thing that makes you come alive? And that's the reason for being healthy and the reason to pursue health and be consistent. So I love the answers that you guys gave. Let me double check that I haven't gotten any new answers. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so Kimberly says, I'm here to break all the cycles. My maternal grandparents and parents both passed away young, 60s and early 70s. Alzheimer's runs in the family. I've seen the devastation firsthand. I want to be here to watch my babies and grandbabies grow, to build with them. What a beautiful, beautiful thing to not only want to change the pattern that was similar to my motivation with my grandpa. Like I wanted to do to experience something different, and obviously I'll have to wait till I'm his age to see if everything that I've done all these years worked out. But in the meantime, I think that I am living a more full life than I would have otherwise because of that goal. So, but then Kimberly, you want to be here to watch your babies and grandbabies grow. That's a beautiful thing, and such a good motivation, such a good inspiration for being fully alive, being present, for working out, for being healthy, is to be around for your children and grandchildren. So I love that motivation. And that's why it's so good to tune into this. I've talked to clients before, and they come in talking about what their doctor recommended and all this stuff, but that's not motivational. But for some of those clients in the past, being able to walk around Disneyland all day for 3 days in a row with the grandkids was the motivation. So that did get them into the gym to strengthen their legs and work out their whole body so they could carry a pack or carry their grandkids, or and even just walk around for the miles and miles and miles multiple days in a row. So that's awesome, Kimberly. I wish you all the best in that. I believe that you will accomplish your goal and not just live past your 60s and 70s, but do it with vitality and strength. So yeah, that's awesome. Sally, my mom, says, I have a keen sense of feeling like I have a God-given potential, and I will never fully know who I am or what all I could accomplish until I am the person I was given the potential to fulfill and to be. So yeah, so becoming ourselves, becoming who we truly are, becoming all of myself is massive, and is kind of an endless quest, an endless goal, because we do have so much potential. So I love that, Mom. Good job. Susie says, you've got to want it for you. Doctor recommendations or anyone else's desires don't motivate as well as what we want for ourselves. Absolutely. So that is the premise of life coaching. So life coaching is different from counseling, primarily in that the life coach never tells the person being coached what to do. They help draw out the problems, the issues, the objectives, and then they also help to draw out the solutions and the intentions and the goals. So, so same thing with life coaching. This is something that I actually tuned into from early on. People have asked me in the past whether I would coach them Biggest Loser style and make them do exercises they didn't really want to do, and basically make them reach their goals whether they wanted to or not. And I never did. I always told people, come back when you want to reach your goals, when you have desires that you are ready to pursue. Hey, Naughty, good to see you. Because I'm not going to make you do something you aren't quite ready to do and then become the bad guy that you rebel against. So if you want it, I'll guide you, but otherwise, no. So yeah, Susie, totally right. Anyone else's recommendations or pressure to for you to get healthier won't do anything until you want it for yourself. So Andrea says, the main motivator for me is that there is so much in the world to see and do, and if I'm going to try to squeeze it all into this one lifetime, I will need to plan for still getting out there to experience life to the fullest at age 101. So I love that, 100 plus 1. And yeah, so I totally believe that strength and energy and vitality is possible into extreme old age, simply because we have so many examples of how the opposite is true. So most of the symptoms of aging are actually symptoms of frailty. People are not regularly keeping their bones and muscles strong. The body is not going to maintain what it doesn't think it needs. So if you're not lifting heavy things, if you're not moving your body weight, your body clearly doesn't need all the bone density or muscle density. And so year after year of not doing that will allow you to end up frail, with ever increasing frailty as you get into your 50s and 60s and 70s. And it's not because of the age. And a lot of people don't realize that. It is because of what they've been doing consistently or not doing consistently. And the body responds. It's amazing. All the studies show that the body responds favorably and promptly to strength training stimulus by increasing bone and muscle density and joint and ligament tendon integrity when people engage in that consistently. So studies show that in the 70s and 80s, people have really significant positive responses to that. So good job, Andrea. I'm excited to continue to witness. You share all of your adventures on Facebook most of the time, and I love watching you experience life to the fullest now, and I know that you'll continue to do that for however long you live. It might be more than 101 years. So then Susie says, I like to move, roam, and explore. Movement has always been essential in my life, especially as a stress reliever and creative outlet. And it just feels good. Plus it gives me energy to do the 90 million things I want to do and leads me to adventures. Also, chronic illness in my family is a motivator to stay active. Staying healthy, active, and social go hand in hand. What's beautiful in living is curiosity, exploration, learning, and discovery of all kinds with people, places, things, nature, and phenomena. I want to be able to travel and to have adventures until I drop dead. Perfect. Yep, I love it. So um, yeah, you know, being completely active, completely functional, we can't always control how long we live. There's a lot of ways one could die, but we do have way more control than most people understand or believe over the quality of life that we have. And I love your determination, Susie, to travel and have adventures until you drop dead. I think I've mentioned this before, but I years ago listened to a psychologist that studied centenarians, people that lived to be over 100. And one of the things that was common among all of them was that they did not live life in relation to their age. So they were never too old to move to a new country, to start a new business, to go on an adventure, to start something that a lot of people would only do if they were younger. So I plan on continuing to live life like that. And sometimes I do have to catch myself. It is easy to unconsciously let the associations that I have with a number influence what I choose to do with my life. And that's a big bummer. And I don't want to do that, but it's helpful to recognize those moments when it's like, wait a minute, this is an area where I am allowing these culturally based associations with this particular number, age number, dictate what I believe is possible for my life. And I don't want to do that. So I'm grateful for those reminders, those awarenesses when I find myself doing that, so that I can change my belief, so that I can choose something different. So that's something I love, and I want that for you guys, to be in tune with your motivation, and I love that you guys are so in tune with that. So as we move into January, the group is going to get a little bit smaller, and we're going to get more intentional, because I'm going to be charging again for the group. If we don't have some kind of prearranged thing, then it's going to be $44 a month for everyone in this group, and then I'll be promoting it from outside of this group as well, and it'll be $66 for them. We're going to be trying to whittle it down to just the people that are most intentional about moving forward with some conscious transformation goals in mind. And that may not be massive. It may just be continuing on your path or whatever, and making little tweaks and adjustments. But my desire for the group is that we are deeply passionate about maximizing our health and healing, both inside with like boundaries and personal sovereignty and emotional strength, as well as outside the physical, strong bones and joints and muscles, so that we can live life fully. So there's going to be some tools for making that practical and simple. It's always going to be a gentle approach, an intuitive approach, and kind of self-led, client-led transformation. So we'll pick a subject each week, and I'll be posting more right after this live about some of those details. but yeah, so I realize that some of you have been in this group and not really utilizing it, and just kind of like maybe it's in the background and all that, and that's totally fine. So you'll have the opportunity to decide whether you want to get more involved and stay in the group, or if it's time to let go of the group and focus on the other things that you have in your life. And I don't ever want to assume that this is the most important thing ever for everyone, but this is the thing that I'm passionate about. So I want to draw in those that are also passionate about this and eager to move forward with this, and those that are not as passionate about this. That's totally fine. You are sovereign in your own life, and you have personal agency. You get to choose what are your life priorities, and I want you to do that. So if this happens to align with where you're at, then I hope that you will continue with us in January, and it shouldn't take up too much more time, but I do hope it will be more intentional, more focused, more something that you are tuned into, and that we can dive deeper into some of the transformations that you're seeking in your inner and outer worlds, inner and outer health. So if that sounds good, stay tuned. We'll be explaining more about how to move forward with that as we get closer to January. So thanks for being here. Love you guys. Hope you have a great week, and we'll talk soon.